If you have a 2015 to 2020 GMC Yukon and you want to upgrade your taillights, there's not a lot of options on the market. They don't fit very well and they're not very bright. If you want to replicate those really cool taillights from an Escalade, Morimoto has came out with an all-new taillight and it looks like this. There's only one version, the smoked version, and as you can see, it looks incredible on the back end of this vehicle. There's a lot of reasons you would probably upgrade your lights. One, if yours are faded, or if you just are tired of replacing incandescent bulbs on the backside, or if they're broken and they need to be replaced anyways. This is a really good option to completely transform the back of your vehicle. Now I know you're asking yourself, is this one whole piece? And the answer is yes. Your original taillight stopped at about here, and it was just this. This Morimoto replacement LED housing goes all the way up here. It's the biggest taillight I've ever seen Morimoto ever launch. And this is not only for style points, it doesn't just match the Escalades, but it's a safety feature. If you're driving on the highway in the rain, you hit the brakes, it's gonna be so much brighter than your original taillights. When you hit the brakes, it's going to be way brighter than the original incandescent bulbs that you just had to replace in the future. It's the last thing you want. So now you've got a safety feature, you got style points, and you've also got an amber turn signal. And when you hit your turn signal, it's much more surface area of light. As you can see, it's an amber turn signal. It's a standard on-off blink. Your original bulb was a slow on, slow off, and it really is not a safety feature at all, and it doesn't look cool. Obviously, this one is going to transform the back end of your vehicle. Let's take a second to talk about reverse lighting. Oftentimes, reverse lighting on vehicles is just to let other people know that you are in reverse. It doesn't help you see where you're going at nighttime, and that is not what we like at Headlight Revolution. We want to actually be seen and also see where we're going when we're in reverse. And the Morimoto XP taillights accomplish that. But they went one step further. I'm going to show you in the install in just a second what I'm talking about. It's the all-new backup light boost bar for the Yukon. These Morimoto XP taillights have a little pigtail on the passenger side taillight that makes this backup light boost bar a plug-and-play feature. What it does is essentially provide an additional 2,700 lumens of light or 300% more light output in reverse. That is by far an additional upgrade you should add if you're already going to upgrade your taillights in the first place. Like I said, this is the smoked taillight. So when you turn it off, they're all smoked out. They don't look anything like your original taillights with all of that red baked inside the housing. So I want to show you guys how to install these. One last thing I wanted to say is that they've got a 5-year warranty. So let's get over to the plug and play install. I'm going to show you how to do that.
Open the rear lift gate and support it using a hood prop. Remove the plastic cover from the base of the lift gate strut and use a flathead screwdriver to pry out on the metal clip securing it to the vehicle. Use a trim removal tool to pry out and remove the lower trim panel next to the taillight. Remove the T15 torque screw from the top of the upper trim panel and use the Morimoto trim removal tool to pry out and remove the upper trim panel above the taillight. Remove the 3 T15 torque screws from the body panel above the taillight. With the screws removed, pull the panel off of the vehicle. Moving under the rear of the vehicle beneath the taillight, locate the main taillight connector and disconnect it. Remove the 2 T15 torque screws from the taillight. With the screws removed, pull the taillight off the vehicle. Pull the harness connected to the taillight up from beneath the vehicle and out through the taillight cavity. Now just do the same thing on the other side. If you have purchased the additional Morimoto backup boost bar, you'll start by prying the upper interior panel loose and pulling it down to remove it from the hatch. Lower the hatch, open the glass, and pry the 2 plastic clips next to the glass latch loose. Lift the hatch back into the upright position and remove the 1 T30 Torx bit from the panel at the bottom of the hatch. Then pry the panel loose. Disconnect the plug on the back of the panel. Pry loose and remove the lower hatch interior panel. Remove the license plate light by pressing on the tab and pushing the assembly out. Drill a 5/16 hole in the license plate light assembly. Reinstall the license plate light assembly and pass the boost bar wiring through the hole you just drilled. Route the boost bar wiring along the factory harness to the top of the hatch. Poke a small hole in the boot, pass the wire through that hole and run it along the boot. Leave the harness here for now. Don't forget to connect your factory wiring to the back of the taillight. And on the passenger side, don't forget to connect the backup boost bar wiring. Reinstall the 5 T15 torque screws to secure the housing to the vehicle. Do the same thing on the other side for the taillight and you're good to go. Now you can just hop in the vehicle and confirm that all functions are working properly. If so, reinstall the plastic trim around the taillights and reconnect the hatch struts.
So if your original taillights are due for an upgrade, the Morimoto XB tails are probably the best on the market to upgrade to. It is our mission at Headlight Revolution to test the best in aftermarket lights. Whatever we find, we put on the website headlightrevolution.com. We've also tested headlights for this thing, so if you wanted to match your taillights with some aftermarket LED lights from Morimoto, definitely check those out. We'll see you guys over there. Don't forget to type in your year, make, and model, and we'll see you guys at our website.